Here's another home improvement tip from Tod and Todd.
Todd, we're here in Greendale replacing a house full of windows for this customer, and we do more than just custom-made replacement windows where we put the same size window back in the opening, don't we?
That's right. A lot of times people think that you're restricted to just doing exactly what you had before, but sometimes what you're trying to really do is to correct a problem in a particular room. Maybe there's not enough sunlight, maybe there's not enough ventilation, maybe the style just doesn't fit either the outside of the house or the inside of the house. So you can get creative, right, Todd?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, in this case, we've got a customer that absolutely loved to sit in the family room in the morning. They've got their computer in there, and that's where the customer, the husband and wife, read the newspaper. One of the problems that they had is that the window prior to this one was actually a little bit of a smaller window, and they wanted to install a window that would be a little bit larger. So previously, they had another company come in and just make the window a little bit longer. They got some of the sunlight they needed, but that didn't solve all the problem, did it, Todd?
No, they just didn't get enough light and ventilation in that room. So what we're going to do here today is we're going to make that window a lot wider. We're also actually going to bring the bottom of the window up so the couch will fit nicely underneath the window.
So Todd, our crews are inside right now preparing the window to come out. So let's take a look as we begin the transformation.
Here we are in the middle of construction here. We've widened this opening. Wow, what a difference, huh?
Yeah, sure is, Todd. In fact, we've made this window about twice as wide as it was before. This is really going to generate the amount of light that our customer wanted, isn't it?
Right. The old window was taller, but much narrower. And actually, we went wider here, but we're also raising the knee wall, the sill height, so that we can position furniture better, right?
Yeah, and when you take a look at the wall, I mean, there's an awful lot of work to be done here. I mean, here's really what we did, Todd. We had to start out by removing the drywall around the entire perimeter of that window to the approximate width of the new window that's going to be going back in. And then to properly support the brand new window, we have to re-stud the wall. It's important that our studs remain 16-inch on center, consistent with the old wall construction. Tell us a little bit about the purpose of the header, Todd, and why we had to put such a monster header up here.
Well, if you think about it, a wall has, as you said, it has studs going 16 inches on center, and that's supporting the weight of the roof. Well, when you cut those things out, now there's no support.
Right.
And you know, we've seen this in the past where maybe an amateur or somebody who didn't really know what they were doing actually cut the window opening and didn't put one of these thick headers here to support the weight.
Right, and as soon as winter comes along, you get a heavy snow load, all of a sudden those things can collapse. It's really quite dangerous.
Yes.
We've seen in the past, Todd, windows that are inoperable. Really hard to figure out why in the world the windows are tight. They seem to sag. You can't move them. And upon further investigation, we find out that proper header support wasn't put in the wall. You know, a way to cut costs, I guess.
Right, so the weight of that ceiling starts to sag, pressing on the window, making the sashes inoperable. Here we put the proper header system in, which is tied in with king studs on the sides. And that's sort of like a bridge. You can think of it like a bridge.
Right.
It supports the weight of the roof, so because there's nothing in the center to hold it up.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, the rest of it is pretty basic. What we've got to do to finish up on the inside yet, we're going to insulate the cavities here with fiberglass insulation. We will be putting brand new drywall up around the perimeter. We'll be putting on the tape and the joint compound and getting that all prepared for final sanding and painting.
Right.
How about the outside, Todd? What kind of steps did we take there?
Well, luckily in this case, the homeowner had some additional pieces of siding available to us. That's one of the reasons that we decided to go ahead and raise that knee wall, because we could go ahead and reside the exterior to match. So
We've got the exact match.
We're going to be placing new J-channel around the exterior edges of the siding where that meets the new vinyl brick mold of our window, so that we don't have to use any aluminum trim on the exterior or have anything that needs painting on the outside. So once we're done, the window's going to slide into place. We'll be able to caulk it in, and it'll be a finished project from the outside.
Yeah, in fact, Todd, this is also going to be, we're going to showcase one of the new full frame style windows that we have too. And then we will have the casings custom made and already pre-painted for the interior. So I guess that's really the next step. The guys are set to, really finish off on the inside here, put the window in, then we'll come back and take a look at the finished product when that's done.
Sounds great.
All right.
So we're all done on this side of the house. Todd, what do you think?
Todd, I think the change on this side of the house turned out to be absolutely beautiful.
It's really cool. What we did is we took a really long window, but it was a narrow window, and we made it shorter and wider.
Yeah, and the bottom line is we were able to help this customer hit their goals. It was simple. We wanted more light and more ventilation. Now, we do a lot of changes like this to accomplish different goals for different people, Todd. Tell us about some of the other things that we do.
Well, sometimes we might take a patio door and turn it into a window. Or we might take a window and turn it into a patio door.
Right.
Or sometimes we might take a picture window and turn it into a bay window or a bow window or a garden window. There's limitless things that you can do. What you really need is an expert to kind of help you make a plan.
You're absolutely right, Todd. So if you'd like to get additional information from WeatherTight, have an expert stop by and just share with you some ideas on what you might do to help enhance your house or accomplish some of the goals that you might have, just go ahead and fill out the form right here on the website.